Welcome to the Send More Offers Real Estate Show with Brandon Barnes, showing you how to do wholesaling deals consistently without having to go on seller appointments. Learn the key tips and strategies that Brandon's students use to find deeply discounted properties that are pennies on the dollar, all while avoiding wear and tear on their vehicle, body, and freedom. Whether you're looking for your first deal or your next deal, it's time to send more offers with your host, Brandon Barnes.
Welcome back, Send More Offers, loyal listeners. And guys, look, we're talking beginning of this year, 2024, about how to send more offers in 2024 to do more deals. And we've discussed, look, there's three components to this: is creating, crafting, winning offers, to submitting these offers quickly and autonomously as possible. And then three, robust follow-up, because we always follow up. The deals are always in the database. So today we're discussing how to come up with these offer prices. And look, I have one of the ways that I use that I think is super simple. And I want to be able to help you with this, but there's clues already in the comparable property. I like to find what's called the sale before the sale. That lets you know how much investors are buying in a particular neighborhood. But before we even get into that, you got to understand what is a comparable home. And so the main categories are making sure that you're first starting within a neighborhood, preferably within 1 mile, not crossing over any major roads or highways. And then two, staying within 500 square feet of the subject property. Sometimes beds and baths will vary, but if you're within similar square footage, I would call that a comparable property. And then building within the same decade. And this can mean, it can mean different things, because you want to make sure that at least the property is of a similar style. So if you're talking to a homeowner with a brick ranch, you want to look for other properties that sold that are brick ranches or 2-story houses, townhouses, etc. And then lastly, we start off looking within 6 months of that sale. And if you're in a really tough, challenging market, you may want to make it even within 90 days. But once we find these properties, you can use your favorite softwares, Zillow, PropStream, Privy, to pull the map up and look for all the properties that recently sold very close to the subject property and go through each of those sales. And look, there's so many clues and notes into finding other as-is sales, because the name of the game is getting these offers out quickly, right? And at least having a good ballpark for the homeowner. And you can generally see what other homes are selling for around subject property. So we're really looking for what I call, again, the sale before the sale. So if something was fully renovated, sold for $350,000, but you see 6 months before it sold for $150,000, a rehabber bought it. And I promise you, if you look at 3 to 5 different properties that sold within a similar time frame, and they all have a sale before the sale, which is of similar price point, a similar range, then investors are typically buying in this area around that price point. So we just back out how much we want to make, $10,000, $20,000, and then we'll submit an offer. So in that first example, I'm offering maximum allowable offer, maybe 130,000, because I know that other rehabs are selling close to 150. And if you say, hey, well, how do you know how this property looks? Look, if you look at a series of sales, some are going to be on the lower end, some are going to be on the higher end. It's your job to understand from the seller and what they tell you how bad the property's condition is or how good it is. If they're saying, hey, it's a newer roof, newer water heater, newer HVAC, then maybe I'll inch closer to the higher end of that sale. Maybe my offer is, 140. Maybe if it's even 150. And if it's in a great area, that's even better. So this is how we find it. And then when I'm looking at these different sales and comps, I'm reading each description and see how that agent or how that homeowner listed the property. If they say things as is sale or investor special, that it's probably an investment property. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these comparable prices. and you can come up with an offer range, maximum allowable offer, MAO, if you will, and make an offer of a similar range and then engage that person forward. Then look, hopefully we go to the property once it's under contract and you verify your numbers, because we never like making offers that we can't actually close on. So it's really important to try to get good offers out the first time and holding firm by your number. Aside from these as-is properties, these investor specials, there's another category of properties which is a little tougher at times for folks, especially starting out, to comp a rental property. Because look, a lot of folks will do the general, ARV, which is the after repair value, times 0.7 minus repair costs, and that's going to be their offer for a wholesale property that's going to be renovated. Well, look, some of these neighborhoods are ripe with rental home, and you can see when people have bought a property, done some minor work, and then listed it as a rental. And so you can find homes that sold as rentals and back out your number from there. So subtract what you want to make, and that's your maximum allowable offer. But I want to give you guys one of the rules that I know I live by and some of my buyers live by. And that's when you're looking at rental properties, there's this 1% rule. And so that standard 1% rule is the starting point. And essentially you're looking at the ratio between what you can rent it for and the total cost of purchasing that property and getting it ready to be rented. So if I'm looking at the rents, for example, and I see that something can rent for $1,500 a month, then we need to be in this property for $150. And if you assume that, hey, it only needs a little bit of work to get it rental ready, call it $30,000, then my maximum allowable price to offer the homeowner is $120. It's super, super simple. And, you can be flexible with this, but that 1% rule really makes it easy. And it's another gut check moment to see if your numbers are right. So we look at these properties 3 different ways. There are 3 different types of investment properties. There's the first one we talked about, the as-is sale that's going to be renovated and relisted. There's the rental properties. And then lastly, there's the move-in ready home. Those are usually in nicer neighborhoods. So, the up and coming areas typically have a lot of renovations. The lower end rental areas, they have a lot of rentals. So that's when you look at your 1% rule. How much is it renting for in the area? And then lastly, if you're in a really nice neighborhood, there's a lot of people that keep their homes up and they sell them move in ready. You can view it from the photos. If you're looking at comps and you see a lot of people saying, hey, just, nicely finished, recently updated, and the pictures of the homes that have already sold look like they were lived in and there's a bunch of furniture, then these homes are selling around that price, move in ready. So that's easy. You don't have to look for the sale before the sale. You just look at what it sold for, move in ready, and you subtract what you want to make, and that becomes your offer. With these 3 methods of coming up with your offer price, you can do so very quickly when you're on the phone with the homeowner. The very first time, as soon as I get somebody live on the phone, I'm clicking into Zillow or going into PropStream and drawing my map, looking at all the homes that recently sold. If it's fix and flips, I'm going to look for the sale before the sale. If it's a rental community, I'm going to do the 1% rule and see how much it could rent for. I might also see if there's some properties that sold as rentals and turn into rentals, and that's my number. And then lastly, if it's in a nice neighborhood, I'm going to say, hey, these are homes that are selling move-in ready conditions. So let me just back out my offer amount, 10, 20K is what I want to make. Let me back that out, and that becomes my maximum allowable offer. Guys, we're really just trying to get the conversation going, keep the conversation going with these offers. Then you can fine tune them when you take it to the next level, when you go to the property. But if I'm just doing that, I can make an offer on any property anywhere from my phone or while I'm actually in a dialing session. So it's super, super important that you make sure that you're getting offers out to everybody. Even if they tell you, hey, I won't sell my house for no less than 250, but I know I need to be sending an offer at 200. I'm going to send that offer at 200 and I'm going to hold firm and I'm going to follow up with them within 48 hours, make sure that they received it, discuss anything, see if they need to, add in any extra amendments. If their closing time is a little lower, if they want more earnest money or due diligence period to be shorter, that's how we can engage them and keep the conversation going. Look at these offers as just another marketing piece. It's something that keeps you in the forefront of the folks that they're actually still engaging with versus you spoke to them. They said they wanted a high number. You know, you're not going to be there, or you went to the property and they say they wanted more and you don't send the offer. Well, they're just going to move on and forget about you. So we make sure that we get offers out to everybody. And with these easy methods of finding the sell before the sale, or using the 1% rule, or just backing your offer off of something that you see that's sold, move in ready, you can send offers as quickly as anybody else. Super, super, super important. Guys, that's it for this episode. That's all I wanted to share with you about offer pricing, making sure that you're getting them out the door quickly, rapidly, and you're following up. We're going to be talking about those next two pieces in the next episode, but I want to remind you to head over to sendmoreoffers.com because that's the absolute best way to reach me. All my contact info is there. You're doing deals in Atlanta, you need help, or you just want to talk about this offer pricing thing, I'm here to help. Go to sendmoreoffers.com. There's nothing for sale, but just a bunch of great information and show notes from some of the very best Send More Offers guests. I want to see you there at sendmoreoffers.com. Until next time, in the very next episode, always remember, send more offers, do more deals. Till next time. Peace.
That's all for this episode of the Send More Offers Real Estate Show with Brandon Barnes. But we know you're craving more knowledge to get yourself ready for that next deal. To schedule a call with Brandon to learn more about how to do deals consistently without seller appointments in a repeatable way, be sure to visit us at sendmoreoffers.com. And be sure to tune in for the next episode of the Send More Offers Real Estate Show.